All right, we are live. Today was interesting. I was just going to grab a coffee at one of the coffee shops over here, and we just bumped into a tech meetup. That was pretty cool. But anyways, something interesting that happened recently in, I think it's New Brunswick, which is there's a there was a data center being built over there. There was a data center that was proposed to be built over there, and then there was a massive protest that we don't want data centers. And it was less about all the factual things or all the, let's say, environmental things that, hey, it's going to consume a lot of water, going to consume a lot of electricity, it's going to be bad for it's going to be bad for our electricity prices and stuff. But instead, it was more about the moral thing, the moral thing, that what this stands for, what this data center stands for, what is going to happen in this data center. They are going to make a bunch of Sora videos, they're going to make a bunch of like cat videos, and they're going to waste a lot of electricity over there. Our kids are like, AI is going to take our jobs and stuff like that. Let me quickly pick up my pen's cap. So yeah, very interesting stuff is happening. And then there's this guy, and it's a pretty cool video. I think he definitely planned this out, but it was really cool. Like he's some sort of like government meeting over there where government finally decides, where the city council finally decides that, okay, we're not going to make this happen. And then he's running out with that paper, with that decision that, hey, they canceled it. And it was a beautiful video that was shot. And it's kind of like yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, there are too many things over here to understand, pros and cons and everything. And I think there's also a discussion on TVP, and they shared something pretty cool, that there's a beautiful data center that is built in, I'm guessing Sweden, and on top of it there's like a ski resort kind of thing. So on top of that there's an extreme sport thing happening. So you quickly realize that the problem is not data center. The problem is how it looks like, and it's boring, and what it stands for. So we got to make it exciting, and this is exactly what's happening with ads. Ads are boring, but what do? We put ads into these highly addictive formats, highly dopamine filled formats, where you want to watch all these TikToks and all these reels, and there are these ads, and these ads are again doing a pretty good job at. And actually, when you start thinking about that, everything is an ad. Everything is an ad. Over here, everything that I'm talking about, I'm using Claude, that's an ad for Claude. I'm using Shure microphone, that's an ad. Everything that you see behind me, that's an ad. If I chose that, and if I'm now trying to create some sort of art, I am immersing all these things in my art, and that kind of ends up becoming an ad. So you have to understand, you have to kind of start understanding like how things work. And what is an ad? Ad is there are soft ads and there are hard ads, or it's simply like soft power versus hard power, or soft influence versus hard influence. What is soft influence? Soft influence is something like this, where I'm using this Shure mic, and let's say if you kind of always see this Shure mic, you'll be like, oh, this mic looks good, and this guy uses it, maybe I should get it too. And that's why you buy Shure. That's a very soft thing. A very hard thing would be where I am taking like not 12, but a 2-minute segment where I'm like, oh, you should buy a Shure mic because it has this frequency. This is how the model works. It's manufactured in this particular way, stuff like that. So yeah, everything is an ad. So I think data centers have to be built like art. Data centers have to be built like a place that brings the community together. It has to be like a community center. You have to kind of build this massive, beautiful art piece or community center that just ends up holding a bunch of NVIDIA GPUs. That's it. I think that's the solution. People will quickly figure out that we were trying to go straight at it, but we gotta also think about you, and we gotta come up with a package solution. And I think that's true. Like even today, if you go to the major cities, sometimes things could start looking very boring. In Vancouver, I think in Vancouver, you kind of everybody kind of figured out that okay, there is a standard way how buildings should be formed, and then everybody build their buildings in the same form. Like if I'm looking around over here, all these buildings look the same. None of these buildings have anything unique. There is just one building which is like okay, that's new, that's something new, but everything else, it looks the same. And that's a problem. That's a problem. You gotta build, you gotta bring more art into your work. And I think that's how we will change things. That's how things will start looking beautiful, and people will start accepting where things just flow together. There are so many examples of this. There are so many examples of how we have kind of mixed a necessity with art, which people actually love. And we just need more of that. We need more of that. And I think people will just get more creative, because what people are rejecting is not data centers. I think what people are truly rejecting is the way how it only serves the corporations and doesn't serve the community in which it is built. Yes, the data center is going to bring some construction jobs. Yes, that data center is going to build some bring jobs for plumbers and electricians, and bring jobs for maybe 1 year, and then have an extra staff over there. But other than that, how does it serve the community? I think we have to think deeper and deeper about how it serves the community. Tell me about this data center that has a ski resort, kind of a ski resort at the top of it. Integrated ski resort facility. Let's see, I think Claude should know. Denmark. Renewable power plant in Denmark has ski slope. You're likely thinking of Copenhagen, also known as Amager Bakke in Copenhagen. Here it is. And they were skiing. It is pretty fun. Copenhagen was designed by the Danish architecture firm Big and opened in 2017 as a power plant, with the recreation facilities following in late 2018. That's an 85-meter. It also looks beautiful, like, or yeah, just like look at these. The way it's designed, it actually looks like okay, you have thought about making a data center beautiful, not just a box that you are. But I think Europe is also, in general, way better at this right now with the construction boom. People just want to make data centers. So that's also true, that right now some people just want to make data centers. So they're just going hard at it. Recreational facility located prominently within view of Copenhagen's downtown. 440,000 tons of municipal waste annually and converted into clean energy, providing heat and electricity to tens of thousands of households. 400-meter long artificial ski slope running from peak to base with a U-bend using a synthetic surface called Neefplast rather than real snow. Hiking trails through a biodiverse green roof, the world's tallest artificial climbing wall. Cafes at both the top and bottom, glass elevator that gives riders a view into the 24-hour operating waste incinerator. This is like a massive project. They have turned this into a, they have turned this entire project into like a community thing. I think this is beautiful. This is beautiful. It was named the World Building of the Year 2021 at the World Architecture Festival, and attracts an estimated 42,000 to 57,000 visitors annually. Wow. World Architecture Festival. Tell me more about that. Oh, I didn't select. It's a fantastic example of sustainable hedonism. Were you thinking of this one, or have you heard about an actual data center with a similar concept? This is amazing. Data center ski resort on top. Norway or somewhere in Scandinavia, or possibly Swiss. I found it. It's Copenhagen. It's technically a waste to energy power plant or data center. Wow. It's pretty cool, like how you can see how the AI thinks. Like it thought that, like I thought it's a data center, so it's like it's actually searching for data center, but then it's like no, it's not a data center, and it's not And it's not a ski resort. What you're talking about is this. It's a waste to energy power plant. The Super Jury includes some heavyweights. Paul Finch, Architects founder, Kim Herforth Nielsen, Meccano associate partner Nuno Goncalves Fontara, Studios Shaolin. The ski terrain angle arises directly from the placement of machinery inside the plant, arranged in height order beneath the roof, which naturally creates a slope. That's probably elegant detail. The form literally follows function. It's doing real work underneath. This isn't just a vanity project with a ski slope bolted on top. Other winners included Studio Architecture Silo City in Buffalo, New York, Abu Dhabi. Oh. Silo City in Buffalo, New York, Future Project of the Year. SLA Architects Elfay Park in Abu Dhabi. Okay, now I'm really curious about the architecture. This is it. Like, how do you build more beautiful architecture? What cities? First of all, these architects who are winning these awards, they are, after they win one award, they're going to keep going. They're obviously going to keep going. If they're not going to keep going, then the people who work on the team will keep going, and they are going to keep building these beautiful designs. So you just want to keep track of it. Like, where are they going? What city are they choosing? Because based on that, you will kind of understand that, okay, which city is going to have a really beautiful community center where people are going to come together. In Vancouver, I can think of one place, which is Granville Island, which is like super old, and that's like one place where people hang out on the weekends, come together, and they can meet each other. But cities need more of these. Okay, Elfay Park. Interesting. Interestingly, it shares a Danish design lineage with Copenhagen, since it was also designed by a Danish studio. The name Elfay is Arabic for the shade park. Lower temperature create optimal microclimates throughout the day. Public park in downtown Abu Dhabi, designed by SLA, the same Danish landscape architects who collaborate on Copenhagen's green roof. And of the water consuming and soulless Las Vegas landscapes of the past, signaling a new kind of Middle Eastern city development driven by inclusive nature rather than iconic buildings. Wow. This is it. I think we went on this massive, what do we say? Yeah, we started focusing too much on the fact that, okay, we need iconic buildings. But what you truly want is, how do you bring the community together? Inclusive nature rather than iconic buildings. The park was built on barren sand and used exclusively native species. UAE's national tree, calf tree, replanted from desert nurseries. The design came out of SLA's in-house biologists spending a year researching the region's unique flora and fauna. I think this is it. Like, where are they gonna go? Where there's money, and where there's money, it's in Middle East, and that's where they are gonna. Yeah, it would be interesting to see like how this is happening, because yeah, you are attracting the top talent from, you are giving them clear regulations, so no restrictions on regulations. You're giving them everything that they need. You're giving them money, so they're incentivized to come and think about your problems. Wow. Spending a year researching the region's unique flora and fauna, eventually compiling their own internal plant book covering every native species in the UAE. Ecological engineering is where it gets really clever. The park uses 40% less water than conventional parks through its tree density, soil design, and irrigation using solely recirculated water. The planting attracts bees, pollinators, birds, and animals. 100% bird song guarantee. Wow. Precision irrigation tailored to each plant community with a layered forest-like planting structure where upper canopy species shade mid and ground level vegetation, reducing evapotranspiration. There's even a custom root zone design that enables symbolic relationship between co-planted species. Sloping entrances funnel the cooler southern breeze down into the park, while local grasses and bushes reduce sand infiltration. Street fitness areas, climbing walls, mini golf, food trucks, and informal seating, all benefiting from the naturally cool microclimate. A thoughtful and intelligent response which takes into consideration pressing contemporary social and environmental issues, and delightful and biodiverse oasis in a dense desert city. Park success influenced official standards in Abu Dhabi, including a new water use target of 3.5 liters per square meter per day. Danish sensibility of treating design as an opportunity to solve multiple problems at once. So now we are really curious to just actually let's just go to Claude. SLA Design Studio. Okay, find me their website. Where the deeper you look, the more interesting it gets. It's not a conventional architecture firm at all. Found 94 as Stig L. Anderson Landscape Architects. Interdisciplinary nature-based design studio with office in Copenhagen, Aarhus, and Oslo. Founders initials. Today, it's owned by 3 senior partners. Founding partner Stig L. Anderson, architect and CEO Met Skold, and landscape architect and design principal Rasmus Astrup, along with 10 additional partners and 7 associate partners. 130 people across more than 25 nationalities and 12 disciplines: landscape architects, biologists, anthropologists, city planners, lighting designers, ecologists, PhD, safety experts, planting experts, and even forest engineers. Seriously unusual mix for a design practice. Founder himself has an interesting trajectory. Royal Danish Academy of Fine Arts, then traveled to Japan on a scholarship after graduating. He spent years in academia as an assistant professor before starting his own practice. He remains a professor at the University of Copenhagen. SLA became the first office ever awarded the European Landscape Award by the international magazine Topos. This is really cool. This is really cool. Every time you see something beautiful, a design like that, where you are like, okay, you thought about creating power, a utility, a really important utility for the city, but you also thought about building community, and you thought about too many things. You thought of building a elevator inside that so people can go and like check it out as a kind of a museum, as a factory which kids want to look at, that, oh, this is like good for education. It's like they're like cafes over there. There are these rooftop skiing spots. It's pretty cool. Okay, let's see. SLA allow. Ooh, is this like is something's gonna happen? Boom. Nothing. Is this website empty? Oh. What? Okay. Well, world-renowned nature-based design studio with global presence and office in Copenhagen. Ongoing projects in Europe, North America, Asia, and Middle East. Wow. Really cool. Whoa, key financial figures, revenue. But why is the last one in 2023? What happened? Gross margin 73%. Board of directors. Corporate social responsibility. Change the world through nature-based design solutions and enhance the quality of life in communities and the public realm. Our method is continuous scientific research into nature's processes and a deep understanding of the aesthetics and the design of nature. The goal is to solve today's hardest urban challenges while at the same time enhancing the quality of life for all people. We know that nature's grown environment and the built environment differ from one another. Although they are not comparable, they are complementary. Only by creating a balance between the two will our cities become truly sustainable and livable. Our mission is to deliver world-class and pioneering nature-based benefit our clients and users, nature itself. Nature is the basis for all living. This self-evident but often forgotten truth is imperative in a more and more urbanized world. We strive to connect people with nature and make nature its process it and make nature and its processes a vital and integrated part of urbanization. We are nature and nature is us. Our work benefits humans, animals, plants, and all the world's living organisms. We are learning and sharing organization, working in interdisciplinary teams to provide holistic solutions to the world's most pressing problems, continuously evolving and expanding our knowledge about nature's ecosystem services and its ability to create a good and sustainable future for all. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Projects, studio, services, challenges. Wow. We have designed some of the most notable public spaces and master plans in the world. Climate adaptation projects in Copenhagen, the green-blue transformation of Denmark's largest social housing estate in Aarhus, and the design of Norway's new government quarter in Oslo, to urban biodiversity parks in Abu Dhabi, large-scale master plans in Toronto, and urban plazas in Shanghai. Everywhere, our ambition and mission are the same: to design places for life. Curiosity, interdisciplinary collaborations, and hands-on approach are at the heart of our work. We base our projects on field work and on on-site analysis to design places for all things living. Collective, I'm actually curious about. Tell me more about their project in Toronto. Trinity on Nature, People and Design. We consist of 3 offices, 12 disciplines, more than 25 nationalities. Oh, obviously. Wave decks. They made the wave deck. Quayside. Less about decorating a waterfront, more about rewriting how city block breathes. Urbanism as ecosystem. They're designing a 2-acre community forest embedded inside a dense mixed-use neighborhood. This was like the Google city. Toronto's waterfront faces flood risk, heat island effects, wind tunnels from towers. Coastal ecology: absorb water during storms, cool during summer, shelter from winter winds. So this is also meant to create year-round use, encourage informal interaction, support mental restoration, dense living. Sidewalk labs. So are they still working on it, or what exactly happened? But not in the sci-fi Google Smart City form everyone first heard about. The sidewalk labs era. Data governance, surveillance, public land control, governance power shifting to a tech company, and COVID financial uncertainty. Sidewalk labs pulled out in 2020. Project paused, vision collapsed, reset. Cool ideas, less tech, Feudalism. They rebooted Quayside as a more conventional but still progressive development. Instead of one master private visionary, multiple development partners, public oversight restored, focus shifted to housing, climate resilience, livability. Development partners, Dream, Great Gulf, won the bid to develop Quayside. Climate positive buildings, affordable housing, mass timber construction, resilient public realm. It now sits inside a publicly governed master plan without sidewalks data layer, but still pushing nature-based infrastructure, so the project shifted from tech-first smart city to nature-first resilient district. More grounded climate urbanism. Mass timber, climate landscape, mixed use density, a quieter revolution. Okay. He makes creativity and science and collaborate between professions and discipline to provide holistic and innovative solutions. Some of today's biggest urban problems. We love to put our interdisciplinary design method to use. We base our projects on a deep understanding of their biological baselines, their social foundations, their physical context. Distinctly interdisciplinary approach to making livable and resilient places. We combine deep anthropological knowledge and rigorous biological research with award-winning design expertise and high artistic ambitions. Conceptual collages to visualize a project's sensuous and emotional character. Workshops are homes for model making, collaborative sketching, and one-on-one prototyping. Foundations for life, from small-scale urban interventions to large-scale land art projects. Oh, this is a real land. I thought this was a painting, or this might still be a painting, but this looks real. Wow. So many different texture of land. But learning and sharing, culture sharing, knowledge and innovation is central to us. Only in co-creation with clients, stakeholders, and citizens can we design the best possible places for life. Research and Development Network, SLAB. We initiate and engage in numerous research projects. To meet, learn, laugh, reflect, and strategize on the year ahead. Strategize on the year ahead. We participate in lectures, keynotes, talks, and workshops worldwide to share, learn, and push our thinking. Close affiliation with universities and architecture schools to ensure a tight bond between our research and our practice. Let our voice and opinions be heard in op-eds, media appearances, and public debates. Our history. The company. Studio manager, R&D director, studio manager, Chinese market, design architect. Beautiful. We explore and experiment to push the boundaries on nature-based design solutions. Please don't use the latest BIM and digitalization tools which enable a faster and more accurate project delivery to the benefit of clients, collaborators, and ourselves. Explore what surprising results a creative citizens engagement process will provide. Over the years, we have had the good fortune to work with a wide range of clients and collaborators, from global market-leading companies to innovative one-person businesses. We love clients and collaborators who are ambitious, courageous, and visionary. As a client, we bring you along on our journey, invite you to join our mission, challenge our thinking, expand our horizons. For the Quayside development, we create a landmark cultural destination with 2 acres of community forest. I'm guessing, is it this entire part? Or is it just this? I think it's just this. Wow, Toronto. Miss Toronto. Wow. We continuously research and explore our project's regional flora and fauna to create resilient designs with a strong sense of place. Honors and awards. David Crombie Park Revitalization won the Pineapples Award, the UK's premier award celebrating excellence in placemaking. Pineapple Award. Fundamentals of our office together with us. Roots. Mist. Phenomena caused by small droplets. Okay. Essay The Bark Room. Bark is both living and dead, growing and cracking a shell, a protective layer, an integral part of the world's tissue. In the beginning was chaos, while the universe began to expand after Big Bang and also decrease in temperature. The Book of Garden. Sakuteki. The Book of Garden is a manual, a textbook for Japanese gardeners. In making the garden, you should first understand the overall principles. According to the lay of the land and depending upon the aspect of the water landscape, you should design each part of the garden tastefully, recalling your memories of how nature presented itself for each feature. Study the examples of work itself or work left by the past masters, and considering the desires of the owner of the garden, you should create work of your own by exercising your tasteful senses. Think over the famous places of scenic beauty through the land, and by making your own that which appeals to you most, design your garden with the mood of harmony, modeling after the general air of such places. Without a single picture, and does not focus on images at all. Instead, a manual focuses on how the right balance between the different parts of the garden is achieved, the garden spatial organization, and on the relationship between the abiotic and biotic matter, between the grown and built, between the clear and the consciously unclear. Danish Garden Culture Foundation Honorary Prize. Copenhagen's new nature park approved. Sister Plotzi secures planning commission. Really cool. Really cool. Philosophy is distinctive. They treat nature not as decoration but as the fundamental organizing principle for urban spaces. Their core belief is that nature's grown environment and the constructed built environment are fundamentally different from each other, and together they constitute a holistic architecture. Everything starts with scientific understanding. We were just discussing using sunken bases and water purifying plants to prevent neighborhood flooding. Largest social estate in Aarhus through nature. The latest award in World Architecture Festival. I think that was the competition now. Miami Convention Center. Whoa, what is happening? What is this? The Holy Redeemer Church and Community Center of Las Chumeras by Fernando Menes, located in La Laguna, Spain. It's a really striking choice. A total contrast to Copenhagen's high-tech spectacle. The site includes a church, community center, public square in a neglected outskirts neighborhood, acting as a catalyst for urban renewal in a fragmented built landscape. Funded entirely through small community donations and the irregular flow of contributions to determine the phased design for independent volumes. With the first two completed within 2 years, the remaining structures finished 16 years later as funding allowed. Wow. I think this is it. Like, what is gonna always win? I think it's beautiful what they're doing. They're also really focused on the architecture aspect of it. They're also focused on the community aspect of it. Like, is it helping revive the urban design? Is it helping the community? I think that is really cool. Inspired by the volcanic geology of Tenerife. The building has no windows, instead it's illuminated by an overhead cross-shaped aperture, and throughout the day the shifting placement of the light highlights different areas inside. The concrete was mixed with volcanic stones that absorb sound, achieving acoustic qualities comparable to an opera house. Wow. Praised how the judges admired the intensity of the architecture and how light shapes the character of the interiors. Menes himself, at 74, said the recognition was a gift not just for him but for the entire La Chumera neighborhood, who would now be recognized beyond Tenerife. Guilefeu International Airport. Wow, again, big company. Okay, in Bhutan. Okay. There's a vision that dissolves the line between built form and nature, with a striking timber diagrid structure. I think we looked into it, because Bhutan, we did look into Bhutan. This reminds me of the time when I was in New York, and my Uber driver, he was from Bhutan, and he was talking to me on Bhutan and about the Bhutan city, Bhutan Peace City or something like that, and that got me into thinking about Bhutan. Wow. World Interior of the Year, Fractal Chapel. State Hospital grasped by InnoCAD. Architecture Landscape of the Year, embracing flood river ecological corridor by Turnscape, revitalizing a 102-hectare floodplain. There's something poetic about the contrast between Copenhagen and this year's winner. It was a 670 million mega project that turned industrial infrastructure into a playground. It was built incrementally over nearly 2 decades through small community donations using local volcanic stone mixed into concrete. Both are about architecture serving community in unexpected ways, but they represent completely opposite approaches to getting there. One through abundance and spectacle, the other through constraint and patience. Wow. Oh my God, look at this. Look at this. Wow. It feels like they did a really good job at immersing themselves in the Bhutanese culture, because this looks exactly like those Bhutanese castles. Wow. Oh, I read Delhi over here. Okay, Delhi. A lot of people going to Delhi. Oh my God. This is beautiful. Wow, they did a great job. They made it beautiful. I think this is so important. Like, when you are designing, you also want to really understand their culture. You want to really understand their culture and then make something that is kind of futuristic, but also really, this is a beautiful example of something that is futuristic, but also takes into consider, like, it's a very beautiful mix of futuristic and the Bhutanese culture, the design. Second appearance in our conversation, and the Guilefeu International. Okay, big. Now we gotta look into big. Tell me about big. So we looked into SLA, and this is what we're gonna look into. Okay. Might be their most philosophically ambitious project. Bhutan's second international airport, strategically positioned near the Bhutan-India border and the Paithare River, key component of the much larger Gilufu Mindfulness City. Yes, Mindfulness City. An entire new economic hub that Big is designing with Arup ancestry. Oh my god. The fact that Big is now building that, I think it's going to be interesting. Okay, I'm excited. The King of Bhutan himself has called the airport essential not only as a business hub but as a critical lifeline for national security in a landlocked country. It's scheduled to open in 2029 with a capacity for 123 daily flights. Oh, so it hasn't opened yet. Projected to handle 1.3 million passengers annually by 2040 and scaling to 5.5 million by 2065. Structure as landscape. The undulating digrid structure is crafted from locally and sustainably sourced glulam timber, intended to resemble a stylized mountain range when seen from a distance. A stylized mountain range, yes. Essentially dissolving the boundary between the building and the Himalayan backdrop behind it. The Himalayan backdrop behind it. The timber frames are structurally independent and modular, meaning they can be disassembled and reassembled as the airport expands over decades. Wow. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I think designs like this are going to become more and more valuable. Like I think you can see like how you can expand this. But it's hard. It's really hard to do something like this because, yeah, your capacity keeps changing and you want to adapt to it. Yeah. As the airport expands over decades. This is where it gets really special. Every mass timber member is carved and colored according to traditional Bhutanese craft, adorned with 3 types of dragons representing the past, present, and future of Bhutan. The project showcases 4 traditional crafts: Shingzo carpentry, Parzo carving, Lazo painting, and Sarjo weaving. The carvings are inspired by the Kachin, I can say that word. Revered decorative wooden pillar in Bhutanese architecture, symbolizing both structural integrity and spiritual significance. The result is traditional yet avant-garde, forward-reaching and rooted. Central courtyard called the Forest Spine, which divides the terminal into domestic flights on the west and international flights on the east. The arrival plaza outside is organized into 4 zones, each dedicated to specific native plants from the surrounding forest. There's a treetop walkway, indigenous flora, and green spaces throughout. Bathed in natural light with a grand triple height entry, floor to ceiling windows, and skylights. Indoor and outdoor lounges provide spaces for yoga, gong baths, and meditation. Transform the typical stressful airport experience into something centering. Regulates humidity while courtyards and ventilated roofs encourage natural airflow. Photovoltaic panels on the roof align with Bhutan's status as the world's only carbon negative nation. Wow. Sculpted in real time, half by Bhutanese artists, half by machine, exploring the intersection of traditional craft and technological innovation. Whoa. What is that? But that is true. This is not built yet. This is still a design, but this is beautiful. We want this. Wood carving heritage. Oh my god. This will look beautiful. This will look beautiful. Make it happen. We want more of this. I think at the end of the day, Big will be consulted for everything. Mindful travel experience. Timber structure allows for future expansion. Other travelers stunning views of the Himalayan mountains. Additionally, the airport's wooden structure and ventilated roofs are designed to respond to the region's subtropical climate. Departure. Arrivals. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. This is what people are looking for more and more. A beautiful balance between the a beautiful balance between futuristic and the traditional, because we do understand this idea that what is past and what are rituals. These are all the experiments that worked. That's true, but that doesn't mean you stop doing them. That is part of your culture now. So you kind of have to take on that. That gives you an identity. Use that identity, but don't get stuck in it. Use that identity to stand out, to bring more art. Bring your art, but don't use that to get stuck. Arrivals. It's also very clean design, but yeah, we don't know if that's gonna happen. People are gonna start posting stickers and posters and stuff like that over here. Yeah. Even in our building, like, we have these, like, so many stickers over there. I really hope that we can get to this very clean design in future. At least somewhere we get to this really clean design without all these posters and stickers. It's very clean design, very beautifully designed. Wow. Shuzo Museum of Contemporary Art opens with materialism exhibition. Okay, this is again something beautiful. Futuristic, but also has the Chinese castle design. This is crazy. What are they doing? This is what futuristic design actually looks like, should look like. It's crazy. Inside Albania's creative construction boom through the eyes of global architects. Albania. Whoa, what is this? This is again on the Chinese airport. Looks nice, looks like a stingray. Beneath bird-like white roof. So it's a bird. Okay. Yeah, we need more of this. So many. If you go to Vancouver Airport is very standard. Also, these were built like super, like, way back, so it's totally fine. But yeah, now we need more fancy. Construction of 110 million passenger airport near Addis Ababa. Wow. This is Abu Dhabi. Yellow metal arches frame airports terminal extension in Romania. So they're really going after airports. Ballet dancers take over big circular timber building of Dymac HQ in Denmark. Public pavilion. Timber workshop revisits vernacular typology in Turkey. Translucent glass shingles wrap timber frame museum intervention by Wolf. Wow. Curved inner facade. Whoa, living canopy of native plants. Tops Aranyani's upcycle pavilion in India. Upcycle Lantana camara, an invasive shrub introduced in India through colonial trade routes. Interesting. Atelier reveals curving brick design for the 2026 Serpentine Pavilion. Hey, we need more of this. Design boom. Modular yellow greenhouse travels on wheels to Portugal for seed germination. Vintage film camera rolls into miniature and functional digital camera. Wow, glazed color bands rise a sculptural tower in alpine installation. Where is this? Ocular anatomy informs optical salons interior in Poland. Dongqi design wraps Shanghai mixed use complex in steel frames and shifting facades. S house weaves through a Polish forest. Weaves through a Polish forest. It's pretty cool that if they were able to construct this without damaging the trees, and while the trees are having a lot of like nice shade in them, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Beautiful work. Nivan Sky Gardens by Studio Symbiosis convert penthouses into vertical forest in Hyderabad. Okay. Amazing work. Nivan Sky Gardens. High-tech city and financial district in Hyderabad. Contemporary residential ecosystem that repositions nature at the heart of high-density living. Verdun, vertical community where architecture and landscape operate as an integrated, self-sustaining system. Modern, disconnect from the natural world by transforming the traditional residential tower into a living landscape. Wow, this is really cool. Studio Symbiosis fuses urban design with nature. Vertical gardens form nature-centric penthouses. Oak Sky Gardens. Whoa, 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 whoa. Look at this, look at this. Look at this interior. What is happening? There's barbecue. There's Ganesh. There's a little mandir. Oh my god. This kitchen is too fancy. There's a fan. Oh my god. This couch is cool. Wow. Nivan Sky Garden. Wow. Thousands of reclaimed brick shape rural residents amid agricultural fields in India. Patti Vedu, a compact rural house in Tamil Nadu. Kudu architecture selects context-driven materials. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. If you can make this in a massive number, that is beautiful. Wow. Wow. Before clicking photos, they design it just like how you would do it. There's like mirch. Oh my god. Mud plastered walls reference the texture and color of the surrounding soil. Wow. 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 Beautiful. Green oxide flooring reflects the tonal qualities of nearby paddy fields. Hey, amazing work. They got amazing models over here. The entrance foyer doubles as a puja space. Wow. Look at the doors. Oh my god. Doors are amazing. The openings enhance daylight penetration and cross ventilation. Wow. Cross ventilation. Reclaimed Doors and windows were restored and fitted with stained glass. Wow. Stained glass introduced colored illumination within the rooms. Beautiful. Patti Vedu. Architecture story of reuse, craft and care. Wow. Architect Kodu architecture. Lead architect Arjun Govind. Arjun Govind, great work. What a beautiful work. With some cash asking to build a small house. This is a beautiful space. Wow. We had to ask what kind of house we can provide for a woman who's a farmer. The answer was take what is already there and give it back to her. That's back to basics. Nature has designed it for us. So beautiful. This is so beautiful. So beautiful. And it's really cool how the house is pretty much empty. The house is pretty much empty. Kodu architecture. Panai Vedu. Oh, they've been doing a lot. Instagram, contact. I'm gonna message them. Patti Vedu. What city? Tamil Nadu? Okay. Patti Vedu. Okay, we just messaged them. This is beautiful. This is extremely beautiful. This is extremely beautiful. I just messaged them. I just came across Patti Vedu house. It is beautiful. This is a beautiful gift to the community and a beautiful blend of our culture with architectural design. I hope you keep going and create more beauty. Thank you. Wow. Concrete Utopia transforms discarded construction pipes into playground in South Korea. K Studio expands its wine factory turned hotel along the coast of Greece. Wow. This is a wine hotel. The expansion of Degzamin Seaside Hotel extends K Studio's transformation of a former wine factory into coastal retreat in Greece when the hotel first opened in 2019 in the western Peloponnese. I think this is it. Like I've been missing a lot of beauty. I miss beauty. You sometimes look around Vancouver and sometimes things start looking too bland. I want more beauty. I want more beauty, and beauty in terms of just places that are designed for beauty, because it affects the people in it. When places are designed for beauty, it affects the people in it. And people act differently. And then you act differently. So we need more spaces. We need more spaces like that. This is amazing. Peloponnese. Its identity was shaped by the adaptive reuse of concrete fermentation tanks at directly along the Ionian shore. Wine production were converted into beachfront wine tank suites. The latest phase K Studio builds upward to introduce 8 sea view terrace suites above the existing tanks as a linear addition that maintains the site's rhythm. Elevated terraces for views of coastal Greece. Wow. Restrained linear addition expansion built slightly atop the industrial fermentation structures. Floor to ceiling glass opens each suite directly to the Ionian Sea. Beautiful, beautiful. Wow. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. Wow. Beautiful. This reminds me of one of the spots I was living in New York, in Williamsburg, and it had a very similar, it had this very similar vibe where this entire one wall of your room just opens up. Like you have this entire view to you because it just opens up out. So you have this, like, one wall is eliminated. It's just view. It's just a beautiful view. And that's exactly what we have over here. And I'm really attracted, like I'm really into these kind of spaces because it means that you have so much light. You have so much, you feel like it's open. You feel very good. You feel very good when you have a space like that. Oh my God. What is this? There's Moon. 1920s era silo tank opens as deck silo 01 space for curated fine dining. Project. Really cool. Briss Tsiraki architect sculpts Greek summer house like an ancient ruin on Antiparos. I guess we're gonna get into this. 1930s chair, the architectural inspiration for Gad's Nature Experience Center in China. Sculpture installations animate Zoo Studios hotel redesign in Spain. Wow. K Studio transforms traditional Ibiza finca with flowing spaces and sculptural details. I guess I'm into architecture now. Oh my God, look at this. We're just connected to the rocks. This requires a lot of design thinking. Rocky Antiparos overlooks the Aegean. Oh my God. New summer house. Rocky Cape on Antiparos facing the open Aegean and the island of Despotico. across the water, set into a steep slope and exposed to northern winds. Sea, sky, and terrain with a measured architectural language shared, shaped by orientation and movement. From the approach, the building reads as a composition aligned to horizon and topography. Westward views extend towards sunset and the distant silhouettes of Sifnos, and Serifos, while the presence of Despotico introduces a sense of deep time. Ancient ruins remain visible from the side, and the rawness of landscape establishes a demanding context that informs scale, massing, and material choice. Two stone volume shaped by the terrain. The side looks west towards sunset and across the water to the island of Despotico. Introduces daylight through skylights. Horizontal stone wing follows the terrain and contains private family spaces. Wow. The central living space acts as a protected communal interior with expansive sea views. Main bedrooms and kitchen. There's no stove. Why do they not cook food? They're just eating fresh fishes. They're just cutting fishes and eating fresh fishes. Oh my god. Look at this photo. Wow. Okay.